Thank you all for waiting around. Appreciate it. Call the roll, which I always forget, but didn't tonight.
Councilman Alexander. I'm sorry, Commissioner Alexander. Commissioner Campbell.
Here.
Commissioner DeBrava.
Here.
Commissioner Ellis.
Here.
Commissioner Hayes. Commissioner Hyder.
Here.
Commissioner Mann.
Thank you. First item of business is to approve the agenda. Any changes that need to be made? Otherwise, somebody give me a motion.
Motion to approve.
Okay, I have a motion to approve. Anybody want to second that?
Second.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Campbell,
Aye.
Commissioner DeBrava,
Aye.
Commissioner Ellis,
Aye.
Commissioner Hyder.
Aye.
Thank you. Next item of business is the approval. Oh, we just approved the minutes. No, the agenda. Approve the minutes for the April 10th, 2023 meeting. Any changes that need to be made there?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. I hear a second.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Hyder,
Aye.
Commissioner Ellis,
Aye.
Commissioner DeBrava,
Aye.
Commissioner Campbell.
Aye.
Thank you. I would like staff to read we have two hearings tonight, or we have one hearing and one other business. But for purpose of the hearing, we have some procedures, and if staff would read those procedures, please.
The Planning and Zoning Commission holds public hearings as required by law and provides recommendations to City Council on matters relating to land use planning, zoning, and the subdivision of land. Any person who has interest in the subject matter of hearing will have the opportunity to provide testimony and present evidence to the Commission during the public hearing. Speakers are required to conduct themselves in an orderly and respectful manner. Disruptive behavior, including applause, yelling, speaking out of turn, or other inappropriate behaviors will not be tolerated. Additionally, the following applies to any person addressing the Commission. Speakers are limited to 5 minutes unless authorized additional time by the chairperson. Speakers must speak at the podium unless previous arrangements have been made by the chairperson. Speakers must legibly print their name and address on the sign-in sheet at the podium prior to speaking. Speakers must begin by stating their name and address. And speakers should speak clearly and into the microphone. The chairperson will announce the subject of the hearing, followed by a report from staff. The chairperson will then open the public hearing to the applicant, followed by those in favor of the application and those opposed to the application. The chairperson will close the public hearing. During this time, the Commission will discuss amongst themselves. The public may not address the Commission after the close of the public hearing unless requested by the chairperson. The Planning and Zoning Commission shall base their recommendation and/or decision on information and evidence presented during the public hearing. This decision, if required by the application, will be forwarded in writing to City Council for further consideration.
Thank you. I'll call the first hearing, first and only hearing, rezone 23-001, a public hearing and possible vote to recommend the approval of an application to change the zoning classification of approximately 1.28 acres located at 1358 East US Highway 60 from local commercial C1 to general commercial C2. Chris?
Thank you, Commissioner Ellis. My name is Chris Tabor. I'm the principal planner. The property subject to this rezoning application consists of approximately 1.28 acres of land located at 1358 East US Highway 60. The property is currently vacant. The city's comprehensive plan generally encourages the expansion of residential and commercial development through proactive rezoning of land at appropriate locations. Appropriate locations are described generally throughout the plan with regard to the relationship of land at particular locations to infrastructure capable of supporting various intensities and densities of uses. Goal 1, recognize potential infill sites as opportunities for development while mitigating impacts to adjacent established properties. Objective 1, support the development of vacant parcels as opportunities for densification that is harmonious with surrounding development. The rezoning of this parcel is consistent with city's adopted plans. The general trend in the vicinity of the subject property consists of highway commercial type uses of varying intensities. The subject property is adjacent to Aldi Grocers to the northeast and Arby's to the southwest. The general commercial C2 zoning district is intended to allow less restrictive retail and service-related businesses. Regarding municipal water and sewer service and the capacity to serve potential development, the development of the property will require connecting to existing municipal water and sewer mains located near the property. Both an 8-inch water main and an 8-inch gravity sewer main are located on or in adjacent right-of-way of the subject parcel. The sanitary sewer will flow from the site to the McElhaney and Schuler Creek lift stations before it is pumped to the wastewater treatment facility. The water system, named lift station, and wastewater treatment facility currently have capacity to serve the intended use. Regarding transportation, the property will have access from North Republic Commons Drive. No access will be granted from US Highway 60. A traffic impact study was not required for the rezoning application, as a substantial portion of the subject property is already zoned commercial C2. The waiving of a traffic impact study is in line with city policy. The subject parcel does not contain any areas of special flood hazard area. The subject property does not contain any identified sinkholes. Staff considers the proposed zoning map amendment rezoning to be generally consistent with the goals and objectives of the comprehensive plan, consistent with the trend of development in the vicinity of the site, compatible with surrounding land uses, and able to be adequately served by municipal facilities. Based upon this analysis, performed without the benefit of evidence and testimony of a public hearing, staff recommends the approval of this application.
Thank you, Chris. The first order of business here on this is to ask anyone who is the applicant or the applicant's representative who wishes to come forward and talk to us. If you don't, that's fine. But having no one come forward, I will go to any persons that wish to be supportive of the application for the rezone, who wish to talk to the board. Not get to abide on that. I'll go to anyone who is against the application, who wishes to come forward and give us information. Can't sell it. So we're at the end of the rope on the hearing. I'm going to close this hearing and we can discuss.
I have a question for the staff. So it looks like that the C1 and C2 that's on the map, those are like old property lines before this was divided, I'm assuming.
My guess would be that those are existing from the city's initial adoption of the zoning classification map. So that's why they don't match streets. Usually you'd see them running along streets and match property lines.
Okay.
What is this going to be? Or do we know?
We don't have an application yet.
Okay.
We do have an interested party.
That's all right. I understand. It shall become known to all of us at some point. Any other questions? Someone want to make a motion?
Motion to vote on the approval of the rezone 23-001.
I have a motion to vote to recommend the approval of the application to change the zoning classification on this property. Does anyone wish to second that motion?
Second.
Thank you, Cynthia. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner DeBravo,
Aye.
Commissioner Campbell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hyder,
Aye.
Commissioner Ellis.
Aye. Motion carries. Go to the other business. Possible vote to recommend the approval of an application for a preliminary plat for Greenfield Estates, a residential subdivision consisting of approximately 23.8 23.48 acres located in the 7500 block of West Farm Road 174. Chris?
Thank you. Enterprise Development LLC has requested review and approval of a preliminary plat of approximately 23.48 acres for Greenfield Estates, a subdivision consisting of 80 residential lots zoned high-density single-family residential, R1H, streets, and infrastructure. Preliminary plats are reviewed for their conformance with the following review criteria to ensure the development in the proposed location will not endanger the public health or safety, will not injure the value of adjoining property or abutting property, will be in conformity with the comprehensive plan, transportation plan, zoning code, water system master plan, wastewater system facility plan, or other plans officially adopted by the City Council, and will be in harmony with the area in which it is located. Preliminary plats are reviewed by the city planner and the city engineer in conformance with the requirements of Chapter 410 of Republic's Municipal Code, the comprehensive plan, and all applicable city adopted codes and regulations. The property subject to this preliminary plat application is located at the 7500 block of Farm Road 174. The property is zoned appropriately for the proposed plat, high-density single-family residential. R1H zoning allows for minimum lot sizes of 7,000 square feet, max density of 6.22 lots per acre, setbacks of 25 feet in the front, side interior of 6, and rear setback of 25 feet. The following paragraphs contain brief analysis of the application's conformity with the preliminary plat review criteria identified above. The referenced preliminary plat contains 80 lots, each with a minimum lot size of 7,000 square feet and an average lot size of 7,720 square feet. The preliminary plat also consists of streets, open space, utility easements, and detention areas. The preliminary plat proposes entrances to the subdivision from the continuation of Bailey Avenue, creating a new connection from the portion in Rankin Acres, a Greene County subdivision located to the south, to a second connection point to be constructed at Farm Road 174. A third entrance will come from the continuation of Timber Oak Street eastward from Wilson's Creek Villas to the subject property. In addition, the preliminary plat proposes 5 new local streets serving internal circulation. No lot will be given access to either Farm Road 174 or Bailey Avenue. These constructed streets would be dedicated to the city during the final platting process. A traffic impact study was required in connection with this project at the time of rezoning. The traffic study concluded that no new improvements would be required by the additional trips generated. The site is not currently served by City of Republic water or sanitary sewer service. The site is in proximity to a 10-inch water main to the north and an 8-inch water main to the west, which will provide connections for a looped water main through the subdivision. The site is in proximity to an 8-inch sanitary sewer near the western boundary line of the subject property. The sanitary sewer flows to the Schuler Creek Lift Station and through a force main to the wastewater treatment facility. The city's water and sanitary sewer systems have the capacity to serve the proposed development. Final evaluations of capacity will be performed during subsequent development review. The preliminary plat of Greenfield Estates has been platted for the construction of 80 single-family residential lots and associated infrastructure, including public streets and sidewalks, public water and sanitary sewer mains, and stormwater conveyance. The subject parcel does not contain a special flood hazard area, does not contain any identified sinkholes. The preliminary plat utilizes the existing stormwater detention area on the site, which was constructed as part of the Wilson's Creek Villas subdivision. The detention area is designed to accommodate development of the subject parcel in addition to Wilson's Creek Villas subdivision to the west. The stormwater detention area and all open space common area will be maintained by a homeowners association. The design of the streets, sidewalks, water and sanitary sewer systems, and stormwater detention will be reviewed and permitted during the infrastructure permitting process. Staff considers the proposed preliminary plat in general conformity with the requirements for preliminary plats and is recommending approval of the application.
Thank you. Okay, what do you all think?
Has there been any pushback from the Greene County neighborhood to the south?
So this project is actually one that initially came before the city in maybe 18 or at the end, maybe early 19, also as Greenfield Estates. The preliminary plat went forward, was passed and adopted, and then during the infrastructure phase, the project lost momentum, and a new buyer has come in and is now requiring, it requires, since it's expired, the preliminary plat comes back through. We haven't had any pushback per se from the residents below. The concern that they relay is mostly due to stormwater issues, which they, there is now a detention area there. And so we have, the Greene County and the city has tried to work to find solutions to, better that situation.
Did you say that Bailey was going to go through?
Yes, so this will construct part of Bailey. That's the easternmost street located on that plat. They won't be required to build out the full size of Bailey. When the property to the east of that develops, they will build a portion of Bailey as well. But those connections, that'll connect into Rankin Acres, the county portion, and so there'll be a bit of county permitting to build that portion. But then it'll also connect to 174. So this will complete kind of this arm of it.
If you want to make a motion, you can.
Make a motion to recommend the approval.
I have a motion to recommend approval of the application for preliminary plat for Greenfield Estates as set forth in the agenda. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Ellis,
Aye.
Commissioner Hyder,
Aye.
Commissioner Campbell,
Aye.
Commissioner DeBrava.
Aye.
Okay. Next item of business is citizen participation. Any citizens in the room who wish to come forward and tell us what we need to know or don't need to know, we'd love to hear you. Still can't get anybody. That's all right. Appreciate you being here, really do. Community Development Department update.
No update at this time.
Ever popular community development update. Comprehensive plan update.
No update at this time.
Okay. I'll take a motion to adjourn then. Oh, do you have one? Do you have it? Did I misunderstand? Okay. Everybody's going mum on me.
Motion to adjourn.
Yeah. Thank you. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Ellis,
Aye.
Commissioner Campbell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hyder,
Aye.
Commissioner DeBrava.